Hi, Carl Casgard here at Scott Knox shop, Knox Tech in Ottawa. And Scott and his team have been doing the rebuild starting at the center section of the Halifax. They've been working very hard for months on end. And it's a chilly day here in November, late November. But I came down from the Bomber Command Museum in Alberta to see, how Scott is progressing with all the good stuff. And so we wanted to share that with you today.
Carl, as you know, the main box section of the main spar is made up of two 15-foot sections that are joined in the middle. So there's two sections of front spar and two sections of rear spar, and then they're joined via ribs that follow all the way along the full 30 feet. So this is the port side rear spar that was completed a few weeks ago. It's all bolted and riveted, the stiffeners are in place. This is basically ready to go, ready for reassembly with the rest of the wing when we're ready. That's the starboard side that we've made good progress on over the last couple of weeks. The part just behind you is the part of the original rib webbing.
Right.
Pardon me, the original spar webbing. And then this section in here is all new. When the wing was salvaged in Malta, it had been severed right through this section, give or take. So all this is new build using the extruded T-sections from sprung structures that they were so kind to provide. So in about maybe 2 weeks, this will be ready for reconstruction. What we're going to do is remount this rear spar in the jig, set it up on the floor, and then set the front spar in its proper position, and then starting putting the ribs in.
Sure. Well, Scott, we'll do some various shots here today at the shop to show the main spar, which is the front spar, and the rear spar. And obviously all of those spars come together to make a giant main spar. And then this half and this half will be spliced together, and it becomes the complete rear spar. And behind us are all of the ribs that you have rebuilt.
That's correct.
And you're just in the final stages of the very last pieces of the last ribs, wing ribs, to get ready for those. So we have all the main, if I could use the term, bones to start putting back together a center section, a core of a Halifax. So Scott, I'm looking, this is the first time I've seen the giant rear spar in the jig, and so can you explain some of the intricacies of making this baby be complete?
Right. So we have some key points here that we fix the booms to. We used a laser level to make sure that they were true, and then we put the booms into place and lock them into place, again checking dimensions all along, and then we put the webs into position, and then we clamp them down best we can, and then we start drilling. And the trick is that you start at one end and you move to the other end. And you have to be quite methodical, because in essence, think of it as like a rolling pin on dough. You want to make sure that you don't introduce any kind of a ripple or something into the material. So this one had to be completely rebuilt. So all these new rivets here, this replaces a part that was completely rotten. And I may have described it before, but when the parts when they become corroded, the aluminum flakes like a French pastry, and it balloons. It changes volume probably 10 or 12 times its original volume. So what it does is it just pops all the heads off the rivets as it rots. Yeah. It expands and just pops all the heads of the rivets off.